This is an example of the new surface from mesh capability in Femap version 11. This is an imported Nastran file that represents this stiffened panel with this little spherical bump in the middle. What we're going to do here is one of the examples when you're handed a mesh and you really need to get some geometry to do some more work on it. We've added the capability of converting mesh to geometry. So in this example, let's pretend that my assignment right now is to take this existing model and we're going to add a cutout into it. Let me show you the curves here. So we want to get these curves, and I only picked one, so let me just do the previous command and show you all the curves. We want to get this cutout added to this mesh. So one of the things we can do is go ahead and just convert some of this mesh to geometry, then use that geometry to do some meshing on top of. So what we'll do is we'll get kind of centered up on that little area here, and then we'll do a geometry surface from mesh, and what we'll do is just pick kind of around that area and just to smooth that out a little bit and get a nice patch to work on. I'll do some extra picking here, nothing real fancy, and I can actually do some removing too. This is usually one of the standard Femap picking tools, but now I got a nice little patch. We'll say OK. We're going to take the defaults here, it deletes the mesh, creates a surface, and I've got surfaces turned off, so I'll turn them on. So now we have a nice little area to mesh. What I can do now is imprint that shape into the geometry that I just created, and then I can delete. There'll be two surfaces there, and delete the interior one. So there's now my cutouts now made in the geometry. You can see the mesh size has already been set up on the outside. So let's just set up a mesh size on the inside here. So we'll say mesh control size along curve, and I'll just use our polygon pick to grab the curves. And when it asks me for an element size, I'll hit Control D, which will bring up a measuring tool, and go ahead and measure from nodes. In the global plane, just pick two nodes. It tells me that's the distance, and we'll just round that off a little bit. So it comes up with roughly the same mesh size, and now we can use that surface. It's already got all the sizes set up. Once a property, we'll just go grab the existing plate, and you'll see now that cutout's in there. Just to do a quick coincident node check, you'll see that that boundary there has to get merged in. Let's just make sure that everything's going to connect. I might want to bump that up a bit. And we'll say, let's just make sure we get, from a free edge standpoint, make sure everything's connected. And everything is connected, so at that point we've added that cutout to that mesh. Looks like pretty good quality around the board. Just as a quick check, we'll turn on the quality tools. We've got one little element in there that could probably use a little bit of work, so what we might want to do is use the meshing toolbox and just do some quick edits right in that area. And again, we'll shut that off, do a quick free edge check, see that everything's good. And now we've put a nice mesh representing that cutout.